coming to an end, and I can feel the presence of fall in my bones. Every year at the beginning of summer, I wish that it would last forever. Come the end of summer, I'm always so looking forward to the colder months. And it's not that I don't like summer, I love summer, but at some point it's as if my spirit just craves the change in seasons. Funny how that works. I think fall is ultimately my favorite season. Something about it makes me feel deeply grounded and at peace, but yet so alive. This summer was full of huge changes and lots of hard work, which the work isn't over yet. My boyfriend and I have been getting our new land and camper ready for ourselves and the animals. It's been a big undertaking, but seriously so exciting. I'm still in disbelief that it's even happening. At the beginning of the year, I made a vision board and I printed off all of these pictures of things that I want and desire, and all of a sudden, it's just coming true. It's a strange and magnificent thing when dreams you've had as a kid begin to unfold. You know, they say that we never truly arrive, and I suppose that's true. Life is a constant journey. But that's not to say that we shouldn't pause every once in a while and recognize just how far we've come. Celebrate the big moments, the little moments, and everything in between. There is so much to be stoked about. With summer coming to an end, we're feeling the pressures to get everything done and prepared for winter. We built the horse shelter that will also be hay storage and a tack room. Well, Oliver did most of the work, but you know, he's awesome. Next, we have to fence the entire property and make it so my mini donkey Trout can't escape, because he's real good at getting out of fence. In hindsight, I wish I'd filmed more of the process. I suppose we've just been too busy trying to get it all done. That filming wasn't really on my mind. But anyway, that's what I've had going on. With all that being said, this summer left me with hardly any time to work with the horses. At first I felt bummed about it, until I realized that the sooner that this property is finished, the sooner I'll be living on the same land as my animals, and I'll have more time with them than ever before. I can't even express my excitement, honestly. Living with the love of my life and all of my animals, like, come on. It's an absolute dream come true. So my Mustang Weaver is still in training, and consistency is huge, especially because she tends to resort back to her wild ways when I spend even just a week away from her. My goal was to have her super solid by the end of this summer, which obviously isn't going to happen with everything else going on, but that's alright. I'll just shift my goal to have her solid by the end of winter. Weaver spent 7 years in the wild and then 2 years in a holding pen when a family finally adopted her, brought her to a boarding stable, and then abandoned her when they realized that she was just too much to handle. Luckily, a woman took over Weaver's care when this happened and took the time to start her in ground training. And then through a whole series of events, Weaver ended up with me. At first, I spent a lot of time with her simply hanging out, trying to gain a level of trust. I can imagine for her, adapting to our human world feels a bit like being abducted by aliens. So I wanted her to not be afraid and to feel really comfortable. For a while, she'd been progressing super well until she wasn't. After having her for a year and working under saddle for a few months at walk, trot, and starting to lope, along with some trail rides, she started to just have these huge blow-ups, like bucking and bolting and reaching states of pure panic. And I think why I didn't notice it before was because we were taking things so slowly. And now that I'm starting to push her a little bit more and ask a little bit more from her, she's like, whoa. Her reactions are telling me that she needs a lot more foundation work. It's become clear that it wasn't strong enough to begin with, and the foundation that we built this house on is starting to fall apart. And so, we're starting again, from the very beginning. I think sometimes starting over can feel a little bit like a failure, but it really isn't until we stop trying, and I'll be damned if I give up on this horse. Another thing I really need to work on with her is petting her. You can clearly see here that she doesn't really like being touched, and believe it or not, this is way better than she used to be. She used to really kind of jump away from you anytime you tried to pet her, especially on her face. So now she tolerates me, but obviously doesn't enjoy it. I have to admit, she's a tough horse. Probably the toughest horse that I've ever worked with. It's hard to get through to her, but it's the tough things and the tough times that teach us the most. I hope with anything in life, I will always find the courage to start again if I must. And never give up on something simply because it is difficult. Switch lanes, learn, grow, and keep on keeping on. I've been working lately on training Trout as well. He doesn't know how to lead, and so that's what we're working on here. But he's a crazy smart little dude. He learns so fast. It's pretty cool. Groundwork, as boring as it seems, is pretty essential in horse training. The skills that a horse can learn on the ground will translate to riding, and I think it's something to be practiced often, even with a really good, solid horse. I've always had a fascination with liberty work and trick training, but never really learned about it until recently. Previously, I was working on ranches where methods of horse training were pretty old school, and I certainly would have gotten a lot of eye rolls for trying to teach the horses tricks. So now that I have my own horses, I can do things my way, and I've started learning more, and I'm really excited to start that journey with Weaver and Trout. To be honest, I know my gelding Sidus would have no interest in this stuff. And Sidus has also started to show signs of arthritis, and so we just kind of do some light riding, and that's about it. Weaver and Trout have a lot of spunk and a lot of excess energy that I think I can motivate them into doing some tricks. And yeah, play a little bit with liberty work. Liberty is so cool because it gives the horse freedom and allows them to choose to be with you and perform. To me, it's one of the ultimate shows of connection and partnership. For now, since I still don't have adequate time to spend with the horses, I'm learning, reflecting, and preparing. And that is never time wasted. Sometimes slowing down is exactly what will propel us forward. We have to take a step back from the painting to see what needs to be done. The process is rarely beautiful and certainly never easy, but like magic, it eventually all comes together and makes a masterpiece. Okay, guys, so I'm gonna go and focus my full attention on preparations for the future and just be present for the whirlwind of events that are happening. So, the next video I make won't be until we're fully moved and settled onto the new property, and I cannot wait to share this next chapter of life with you all. It is going to be epic.